This YouTuber is a French YouTuber. He doesn't release videos that often, but they are very well edited, very well shot. He travels around the world, and they kind of talk about all sorts of different topics. He's a biologist, and so he talks about biology, but he also talks about topics that are more about like human experience. And so we're gonna watch 3 of these today. The first one is having compassion for Taliban. Second one, 2050, the end of the astronauts. And the third one is climate change's good surprises. First of all, let's start with climate change's good surprises.
Là, je vais vous faire une petite liste rapide de choses inattendues qui vont être liées au réchauffement climatique. Donc déjà, ce qu'on sait, c'est qu'il va y avoir plus d'événements extrêmes.
Okay,
plus de
that's very
chaleur,
predictable.
plus de cyclones, etc. Ça, on le sait, et c'est une très très grosse attendue du réchauffement climatique. Mais est-ce que vous saviez peut-être...
I mean, I don't think that's too surprising for now. You're saying these are unexpected. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, I paused at exactly the right moment. There will be more shark attacks. That is very unexpected to me.
Donc en fait, tout bêtement, plus les températures de l'eau sont chaudes, plus les requins montent au nord, et plus les étés sont longs et les eaux sont chaudes, ça veut dire qu'il y aura aussi plus de personnes sur la plage.
Oh,
donc
shit.
Mécaniquement, plus de requins, plus de gens sur la plage, on fera probablement moins l'amour aussi. Donc les modèles prédisent que si le changement climatique continue, ça pourrait résulter aux US de 100 000 bébés en moins chaque année.
Which means, if we put both of these things together, that there will be fewer people and more shark attacks. And because of global warming, we're not gonna die because of drought or hunger issues. We're not gonna die because the rich and wealthy go off planet and the rest of us stay here and die. No, we will die because there will be shark attacks and they will eat the last of us. The last human beings remaining will be dying from shark attacks. I think that's exactly what he's saying.
En Arizona, il y a eu 40 vols qui ont été annulés parce qu'il faisait trop chaud et que les avions ne pouvaient pas décoller.
Wait, you're telling me because of global warming, I can't fly halfway across the globe to go to the beach? What the fuck? That is my God-given right. I'm starting to think global warming, not great actually, not that cool. The real problem with global warming isn't necessary. I mean, obviously there's a problem with the stuff we can predict, like, ooh, hurricanes and shit. Like, yeah, that's not good. But I think the problem when you have events like this and when you have such radical changes is all the stuff that you can't predict. All the like knock-on effects that are gonna start appearing, and then people are gonna be like, ooh, fuck, this is like actually 10 times, 100 times worse than I previously thought. What the problem is that if the shit you can predict is already really fucking bad, then that means all the shit you can't predict is gonna be 10 times worse.
Mais la question du coup qu'on peut se poser, c'est comment est-ce qu'on fait pour réfléchir dans un monde aussi incertain? Comment est-ce qu'on fait pour réfléchir avec cette incertitude? Tout d'abord, il faut savoir qu'il y a plusieurs types d'inconnus. En 2002, il y a Donald Rumsfeld qui faisait une conférence de presse à propos des liens entre le gouvernement irakien et l'armement des groupes terroristes en Irak, et il a sorti cette phrase.
There are known knowns.
Comme nous le savons, il y a des connus connus, des choses connues comme étant connues. Nous savons aussi qu'il y a des connus inconnus, c'est-à-dire qu'il y a des choses que nous savons que nous ne savons pas. Mais il y a aussi des inconnus inconnus, des choses que nous ne savons pas que nous ne savons pas. Alors cette phrase peut paraître incroyablement conne, mais en fait elle est hyper intelligente. Parce qu'en effet,
This man's like, there are things you know and things you don't know, and everyone's like, bravo, he's a genius, he's got it all figured out.
Il y a plusieurs types d'inconnus, et on va prendre un exemple très simple, c'est avec celui des virus dans le permafrost.
Oh, that's a problem. That doesn't sound good, actually. We're dealing with a virus right now, and I can tell you from experience, not the best experience.
Et la conséquence de ce sol gelé, c'est que du coup ça conserve tout comme un congélateur. Et la propriété qui fait qu'on peut garder des aliments très très longtemps dans un congèle et les manger ensuite, rend ces sols extrêmement dangereux, puisque tous les virus qui ont tué ces personnes-là sont encore potentiellement extrêmement dangereux pour nous.
Okay, wait, it's all coming together. COVID will end. We're gonna get new secret pandemics that were from hundreds of years ago that were hidden in the ice. That's gonna be like, oh shit, this is really a problem. But then when you think everything is going bad and loads of people die, it gets warmer, so we get less babies, and then shark attacks finish us off. Shark attacks are gonna finish us off. That's my prediction. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but shark attacks, the last human beings are gonna die from shark attacks.
On ne sait pas vraiment quelles vont être les conséquences de cette fonte du sol. Ça pourrait être complètement bénin ou ça pourrait être extrêmement dangereux, et c'est une inconnue qui est gigantesque.
So, like, he's saying it's an unknown. And that's true, that's fair. We can't really predict any of this shit, but if your unknown is we're gonna unleash perhaps dozens of deadly pandemics, deadly viruses onto the world, I'm of the opinion maybe we shouldn't even give it the opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, sure, it could be benign, but like, we shouldn't even try that. We should just stay as far away from it as possible. I understand what he's trying to say because he's a scientist and he's like, yeah, you know, it's not sure, and that's true, but like, it's not worth finding out.
Aujourd'hui, la communication sur le changement climatique est vraiment en crise. Et je pense qu'en partie, c'est parce que la seule façon qu'on a d'en parler, c'est tout simplement par la culpabilisation et pas forcément par l'intérêt intellectuel. Je suis pas sûr que ça résolve quoi que ce soit, mais on pourrait au moins tenter de devenir un petit peu plus curieux sur les très très nombreuses conséquences qui vont arriver de cette expérience gigantesque.
We could be more curious about all of this stuff, and that's true, but I think it shouldn't be curiosity in the sense of like, I wonder what'll happen. It should be curiosity like, I wonder what the worst possible thing that could happen is, because I feel like we're going in that direction, which is maybe a little pessimistic, but I'm not feeling a lot of trust in humanity at the moment. Next up, let's watch The End of the Astronauts, baby.
Les humains qui sont allés le plus loin de la Terre de toute l'histoire sont l'équipage d'Apollo 13, lorsqu'ils ont dû faire le tour de la Lune pour rentrer après leur célèbre accident. Ils étaient alors à 400 171 km de la surface. La sphère où nous envoyons des humains ressemble donc à ça. En comparaison, la sphère où nous envoyons des robots ressemble à ça.
Damn!
Quelques décisions. SpaceX, Blue Origin, la NASA, l'ESA et les agences spatiales chinoises ou indiennes ne semblent pas avoir reçu le mémo et planifient toutes d'envoyer des humains explorer l'espace d'ici 1 ou 2 décennies.
When are you going to put your first man on the planet?
Best case 10 years, worst case 15 to 20 years.
Tout ceci pose évidemment une question. Aura-t-on encore besoin d'humains pour l'exploration spatiale du futur?
I think long term, just because of the rapid like progress and innovation and stuff like that, and robotics and everything, I don't think long term we will like need humans to be there to like collect shit and all that stuff. Like, yeah, sure, you can get robots, but I do think civilizations and stuff like that are built on stories. Like, it's the stories we tell each other that like unite us together, and the story of sending humans into the far reaches of space, like adventuring in the same way that previously hundreds of years before, like adventuring around the globe and stuff like that. Like, I think those are the kinds of stories that push us forward. So do we need humans in space? I think in the future we're going to need them less and less. But do we want humans in space? I think the answer is always going to be yes, just because that's dope as fuck. That's cool as shit. I think that's the main reason. It's just cool.
Je sais, c'est une information renversante, mais on a besoin d'air pour survivre, et en dehors de notre planète, les endroits où trouver le bon mélange d'azote et d'oxygène pour éviter notre décès prématuré sont plutôt rares. Encore un sale coup de notre biologie. Étrangement, les millions d'années d'évolution de primates de savane ne les a pas préparés à vivre dans des conditions qui existent ailleurs qu'à la surface de la Terre.
Which I think is what makes this all so hype. Because like, if it was easy, no one would do it. You know what I mean? No one would care. People aren't going around studying how you walk to work or how you get in your car. Like, okay, sure, everyone can do that. Nobody gives a fuck. But people are really fucking interested in how you get sent out to space hundreds of kilometers over the surface of the Earth.
Fun fact, les astronautes du programme Apollo ont d'ailleurs vu des flashs lumineux, et ceux-ci venaient probablement de rayons cosmiques très rapides qui ont traversé leur globe oculaire, déclenchant ce qu'on appelle l'effet Cherenkov. C'est le même effet qui est responsable de la radiation bleutée classique des réacteurs nucléaires. Sauf que là, c'est à l'intérieur de yeux d'astronautes.
So everything I said about it not being easy, and that's what makes it hype, that's true. It would be cool if it was a little safer though. You know what I mean? Like, difficult in a like theoretical sense, and then you do it and it's like, damn, we know what's gonna happen. What's crazy about all this shit though is like, especially in the beginning, they have no fucking clue what's going on. Telling people you're gonna have like radiation in your eyeballs, which is going to be like making you see lightning flashes, is not a wonderful thing to be telling people. I'm not sure that would make me very confident in my safety going up in space.
Et c'est pas fini. Les astronautes qui font l'expérience de l'impesanteur prolongée perdent de la masse musculaire de façon dramatique. Leur cœur s'atrophie et leur système immunitaire s'affaiblit, ils dorment moins bien, ont beaucoup de flatulences, une perte de goût, ils perdent quelques points de QI, et une expérience sur un astronaute qui a un jumeau resté sur Terre a permis de montrer des différences dans l'expression de certains gènes au bout de plusieurs mois dans l'espace.
This is not things that you should tell the astronauts. I mean, obviously you should tell the astronauts before they go into space, but this is not the shit that would make them want to go into space, you know? You're gonna become dumber and weaker and not as cool as everyone else who's staying on the Earth. I mean, you'll be cooler because you're in space, but for every other health reason, just don't expect it. It's going to be terrible.
Bref, la médecine spatiale a beaucoup de boulot pour nous rendre compatibles avec ce grand vide hostile.
That's actually such a hype thing to work in. Imagine. Someone's like, oh, what do you work in? I don't know. I work in whatever the fuck. What do you work in? Space medicine. I'm a space doctor, baby. Oh, you You think being a doctor is hard enough? No, I specialize in space. I'm a fucking space doctor. This is a really interesting video, which is about compassion for the Taliban. And I think this is an amazing video. Obviously, I'm going to pause and stuff like that. If you want to watch the whole video, like the other two videos, they're going to be in the description. So this is before the Taliban took over. This was March 2020.
Tous les jours, les drames du monde réel nous glissent dessus et tous les jours, nous nous émeuvons du sort d'objets fictifs. Cette façon de répartir notre compassion semble assez peu rationnelle, ni même tout à fait morale d'ailleurs, et on peut se demander, notre empathie est-elle cassée?
What he just said is very true, you know? There's like loads of issues all over the world that as societies and individuals we don't really care about, but damn, a new Star Wars movie's coming out? Oh fuck! I feel for those characters.
Le 12 novembre 2015, des attentats suicides ont provoqué de très nombreux morts dans la capitale du Liban, Beyrouth. Le lendemain, les attentats de Paris ont eu lieu. Ils ont choqué le monde entier et généré une réaction internationale de grande envergure. Les victimes de Beyrouth ont été négligées par les journalistes du monde entier, comme si les Libanais méritaient moins de couverture médiatique que les Parisiens, et cette différence de valeur de la mort a été un sujet de débat important à ce moment-là.
I mean, obviously he's gonna get to it with like the whole compassion thing, but partly it's just since a lot of these news outlets are made to make money, they're gonna like print what's sensational and what's like what people are gonna be interested in, and so it doesn't take on a very moral thing of like, oh, these lives are just as equal to one another. It becomes a thing of like, oh, for instance, a few American lives or a few French lives or a few whatever lives are worth more than like all of these other terrorist attacks that are taking like so many more people away.
L'auteur, selon ses propres termes, est contre l'empathie car elle empêche d'agir vertueusement.
If what you care about is your social group and your social circle above everything else, that means that you are not able or willing to take measures to help others who are outside of that social group because you're not able to feel for them. As someone who has lived in America, but also outside of America, that a lot of social media and social justice and stuff like that is rooted deeply in American values and an American way of viewing the world. And that means that it can be hard to understand other points of view and other opinions if you are so rooted in your own lived experience and you're not able to understand that other people might see things differently from you.
Par exemple, on sait aujourd'hui que l'empathie est biaisée par l'apparence. On aura tendance à plus ressentir les émotions d'une personne belle ou de la même origine ethnique que nous.
Which is not good. All of this to say, that's not great. The goal of empathy isn't to make you do the right thing. It isn't to help create meaningful bonds between people. It's so that instinctively you help those who belong to your in-group. So who look like you, who can be of benefit to you.
Il existe un conflit entre notre système éthique, qui déclare que toute vie se vaut, et ce qu'en disent nos intuitions. Ce n'est pas amoral d'avoir ces biais, ils sont de toute façon automatiques et il n'y a pas grand-chose à y faire, mais si l'on cherche à avoir un impact positif sur le monde, alors il est important d'être conscient qu'ils existent.
So yeah, what he just said there is like super important. Just because you have a thought instinctively, just because on instinct you will act a certain way, that doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't mean like it's wrong of you to have these instincts and stuff like that. What matters is understanding they're there. If you ignore these biases, if you know they're there but don't care, all of these things, that makes you a bad person because like you know there's a problem and you are not willing to change it.
Cette philosophie de l'altruisme efficace s'efforce de maximiser l'impact positif sur le monde avec des calculs qui peuvent parfois sembler froids, mais qui visent le bien commun le plus grand possible. Ses partisans, comme le philosophe Peter Singer, conseillent de donner aux institutions qui sauvent le plus de personnes pour chaque dollar récolté, de ne pas juste chercher le sentiment chaud et agréable d'avoir fait une bonne action, mais aussi de réfléchir à comment maximiser l'impact de cette action. Bref, de s'intéresser plus aux statistiques qu'au visage d'enfants tristes.
Altruism and like just doing things for good in and of itself, I don't necessarily believe in that. You know, it's not like there will never be anything to gain from doing a good action. It's a question of whether you focus on the feeling you get when you give, which is, oh, I feel nice, this is making me feel good, or this is going to help other people. And sure, that can help you too. Like you can be like, wow, I've done some good, but like, are you focusing more on the feeling of helping others, or are you focusing more on the feeling of how good that makes you personally feel? Obviously, I think it's easy to say I completely agree, but like I think it's tough. What he's describing here isn't something easy to do, but I do think it's necessary, and that's why I just wanted to watch it on stream, you know? Those were the three videos from his channel. If you want to watch them in full, they're going to be in the description. You can subscribe also if you enjoyed this video, and this was streamed live on Twitch. And thank you for watching this video. and I guess I'll see you next time.